Spider-Man, the animated series, is the series that introduced me to Spider-Man. When I was a little kid, I caught a few episodes of it, but never really finished them. Never was my taste. But then when I was an older kid, like in my preteens, like 10 years old, I got into it more. I caught some reruns of it, watched it all the way through. The rerun episodes that really got me into it were the ones where he had this like alien costume. So the episode was called The Alien Costume, and the costume was Venom, where the ones with him being control, getting the Venom costume and being controlled by it, just like in the Spider-Man 3 movie that came out years later. I really like that storyline. And then there was a following episode where he rescues, I think, either MJ or Felicia Hardy from Doc Ock. And then when the Spider-Man movie came out in theaters, directed by Sam Raimi, they released a VHS of containing a few episodes called The Ultimate Villain Showdown. I borrowed it from a friend, and I loved it. That really got me into Spider-Man. My the first episode on there is called Make a Wish. It's where he meets this little girl named Taina, who's a big fan of Spider-Man, and he tells her the story of his origin that's shown in flashbacks. And up until then, I did not know anything about the origin of Spider-Man, about how he became Spider Man, how he got his powers, what happened with his Uncle Ben. And when I saw in the episode when they showed a bad guy escaping at this place where he's wrestling, and then later when he catches a finds out his uncle was murdered, he goes to track down the killer, and he finds out the killer is the crook that he didn't stop. And when I saw that, I was like, "Whoa, that's a pretty cool origin story." And way to influence him from being a wrestler to a crime fighter. And and then the movie came out. I didn't see it in theaters, but I watched it on DVD months later, and not VHS because I didn't have a DVD player. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan of Spider Man. And this show really got me pumped in Spider Man. And in 2017, the entire series was on Hulu, and I watched it from start to finish, and I loved it. But every episode was awesome. I love the animation. I love the character design, the voice acting, the sarcastic humor from Peter and Spider Man, and the voiceover narration at times in Peter Parker's head, and the way they made Mary Jane look so hot. It was like, wow, and the way they introduced her, like earlier in the first few episodes, he has a thing for Felicia Hardy, and Felicia Hardy was pretty hot too. I like the way they drew her, and like, he's set up on a date with Mary Jane, and at first he's doesn't want to meet her because he still likes MJ. But when he sees her at first, he's like, "Wow!" And she says, "Congratulations, Tiger! You just hit the jackpot!" Like standing there with her hands on her hips, looking all sultry, so hot. And funny thing, they weren't allowed to kill off any characters in this series because of the production code or whatever on kids shows on Fox at the time, the network it aired on. So like MJ, she disappears later in the series, and you think she's dead, but she's not really. She just got sent into like another dimension, so Spidey has to go save her. And and the final episode, he goes into the real world where he meets Stanley and the comic creators who created him, and then he goes back to his world where he finds out more info about where MJ is located, and he says, "I got to go there to save her." And then the show ends. They don't show him going there to find her, and just like being reunited with her would have been a good way to end it. But I wish they ended it that way. But they good that they at least hinted that's where it was going next. But this is a good series. I give it 2 thumbs up. Or that's my review. If you like it, please hit the like button. Subscribe for more. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.